Hello everyone. In my last video I showed you how to make your own geometric puzzle, just taking everyday pictures, blowing them up to 8.5 by 11 and making a beautiful picture out of them with simple shapes like rectangles and squares. But I realized once the puzzle is complete, it still needs a little extra something. It's great to have a nice laid out puzzle on the table, but how are we going to move it or transport it? We need to add a little something to that. But how are we going to do it? Wait, I know. See, what we need to do to keep our finished puzzle intact is to make an enclosure. Kind of like a little frame. And all we need is just basic materials like cardboard. And we're going to make something that will hold the finished puzzle together. So it'll end up looking something like this. Something great to hold the picture all together. And I'll show you just how we're going to do that. To make our simple GeoPuzzle enclosure, all you need is normal white glue, a ruler, a pencil or pen, scissors, and just a normal piece of cardboard. Find it anywhere around your house, but just a little piece of cardboard could go a long way into making a great enclosure for your puzzle. Now in order to make this, our finished enclosure and frame, we first need to do it from this, which is plain cardboard. And as you can see, I've made different dimensions on it, and I'm going to show you just what these dimensions are and how you need to measure it out. Now what I have here is a scrap piece of cardboard. You can find scrap anywhere. This one's about 27 inches by 13 inches. But as you can see with the dimensions I've already drawn out here, we really don't need that much of the cardboard. Now the most important part is this part here, which I measured out, which is going to be the back or the base of the structure. Now I measured it at 12.25 inches length by 9.25 inches width. Now this is based on the 8.5 by 11 GeoPuzzle I showed in my first video. And I feel this size is adequate enough to have a 1/2 inch border, thickness border going around the whole thing, plus having enough room for the GeoPuzzle in the middle. So just measure out 9.25 inches for the width, 12.25 inches for the length. Now to go along the edges of our back here to make the full enclosure are the side pieces. As I mentioned, they're going to be a 1/2 inch thick or 1/2 inch in width. But the actual length of the pieces are the exact same as they are in the base. So I have 4 pieces here which are 12.25 inches and 4 pieces which are 9.25 inches. Now even though we just need one top and one bottom and one side, which is just 4 pieces all together, I have 8 here. The reason why I have 4 of each is because just in case a mistake is made in cutting or gluing, it's always good to have some backups. So you could measure out minimum 2, but to be on the safe side, 3 or 4 pieces. And what you do is after you have this all measured out, cut them out, and I'm going to show you how to place them all together and glue them down to make the finished structure. Once you finish cutting out all the pieces of the cardboard, it should resemble this. You have the base, which is the 9.25 by 12.25 piece, the 2 12.25 long pieces for the length, and the 2 9.25 pieces for the width. And what they will do is go around the actual perimeter of the back, and that's what's going to make the enclosure. Now as you can see, they're overlapping each other because of the full length. Now what we need to do is take the edges of these and cut them so that they actually interlock with each other at an angle and make a complete frame. So what it will happen is that, as you can see with this one, I already drew the line there, but the flat top here will become an angled top here. So all you need to do is just make sure you cut each one the exact same way. So here I did 1/2 inch. So all I did on either side is just measure out 1/2 inch, and then from 1/4 to where I put the dot for the 1/2 inch, I just drew a line. And from there, that's where you cut it. And you do the same thing for both sides. So again, measured out 1/2 inch from the tip to here, and then drew a line from the quarter to where that point is and cut it. And when you do that, it'll look like this on both sides. Now you do that with both the length and width pieces. And when you cut them all out, this is what they should look like, where they're edged on either side. So this time, when we put them down, put the length pieces here, put the width pieces here. Now it fits all together perfectly as the border. And what we're going to do is glue this all together, flat it down, put some weight on it, and you'll have your finished frame. So once you're finished gluing the pieces together and stick it down, this is what you'll have, your finished frame. And of course, once your frame is all complete, all you need to do is put your finished geopuzzle in there. So here's the geopuzzle I showed, the double-sided one from my first episode. And now, as you can see, it fits nicely into the frame. There is some space at the top, but I always like to just leave that little bit of space when you want to move around the pieces. But there you go. Now this is just a plain version of the geopuzzle frame. Now, because it's cardboard, you could do so much more with it. Cardboard is a very versatile substance. Here's an example. Here's one I did just to show you the differences. Same type of design, but this time I put some red paint in the middle, and just to add a little something more to it, I put some silver sparkly stuff on the borders here around the edge, and even put some gold sparkles on the back. You know, just ways to pizzazz it up a bit, no matter how you would like it. For your frame, add some custom touches to it. Put stickers, you know, even you could paste a picture inside as the complete background of it. But just do whatever you can to make it yours. But here's the finished puzzle, the finished frame, everything together. So I'm glad that you now have your own geopuzzle. And of course, if you want to make this stay in place, you could put some plastic film on top of it, or just a plastic coating, because even though this keeps it in place, it doesn't mean that it won't fall out. It's just to make it so you can maneuver it and move it around the place. So I'm glad that you stayed with me to see how to make your own geopuzzle, your own double-sided geopuzzle, and now your own frame to keep it in. I'm Lolonga Nuami, the homemade game guru, and I can't wait to show you what other concepts I have in store. Have a great day.